Yeah, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, this ain't for everybody. Some of y'all need to hear this. I know you're in the trenches fighting, but check it out. I'm gonna put it down like this so I can help the saints understand. Everything you're going through is all part of the master plan. Or what? You thought cause you got saved everything was gonna be peaches and cream? You better wake up, son. Don't nothing come to a sleeper but a dream. Faith without works is dead. Read your Bible, you know what it said. He who don't work don't eat. Slackers don't get fed. Yeah, Jesus said he who puts his hands to the plow looks back the same ain't fit. Some of y'all ain't been in the trenches 5 minutes and you about ready to quit. I ain't mad at ya, I'm just hitting you with the real. If you died for me and I was still tripping, now how you think that make you feel? Check this out, deep game, this here's deep. Some of y'all ain't sawing nothing but you started trying to reach. But unto him who is able to possess your fathers by his glory. Struggles might be part of your testimony, but it ain't the end of the story. Now the point is was prophesied way back in the day. Choir, sing your hook right here and see if the church can relate.
I know we can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Work it out. Work it out. Yeah, he'll work it out. I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. Yeah.
Thinking not strange, the fiery trials are to try you. You say, why you? But your church say, what would Jesus do? Why you asking if he ain't trying to do what he's saying? He told you he was going to have tribulations, but you thought he was playing. 1 minute you're telling how good God is and can't nobody beat your talk. The next minute you're backsliding so fast, look like you're moonwalking. Oh yeah, I'm preaching to myself because I ain't no better. It ain't like I've been following his every word, obeying it to the letter. So we soldiers, we got to remember that. Regroup, stay on point. Yeah, bow down, confess, repent, stay humble, let him anoint. It ain't easy as I thought it was. I'd be lying if I told you that. But it's showing up getting better all the time. Trust me, that's a fact. Ain't nothing we going through that can't be handled. God put that on his son. Like they say, you can shout now if you want to, cause the battle's already won. So while you're going through the valley, don't even trip. You're gonna be on top. Choir, sing the hook line one more again. This time you don't stop.
I know we can make it. We can make it. I know good and well. God can work it out. Yes, he can. Yes, he can. He'll work it out. We can make it. I know we can make it. I know good and well. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody. This is your host, Lamont Patterson, and you listening to IMTA. I had to give a minute to Big Boy upstairs, boy, because, we're going through some ish right about now out there, But it's my belief, and I hope it is yours, we're going to work this thing out with his help, because I don't see any other way. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got a great show lined up for you today. We got this dynamic female artist, Miss Josephine Relli, artist, model, and actor. And she's doing some fantastic things, man. And I know her music going to be pleasing. I don't know what's wrong with my lips today. Pleasing to your ears. So just sit back, you know what I like to say, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and get ready for a bomb show. You know what I'm saying? So she can educate us, let everybody know what she got going on in the world, and she got some stuff, y'all. Hold on just a minute. Let me see. Is she with us? Josephine, are you with us?
I am.
Well, welcome to the show, honey. Glad to know that you're with us.
Yeah.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. How are you?
I don't know. I guess today is hump day, and I feel like, we made it this far so we can make it the rest, you know what I mean? I don't know if I got my little silly bone on today or what. I have no idea, but I'm feeling good, and I hope you are too.
Mhm.
Well, it's definitely a blessing, boy, because it seems like every day you got to get a look. I'm going to be safe today, because if I'm not safe today, I'm going to have a thing, and I don't want the thing, because every time I turn on the news, everybody else got the thing.
Yeah.
So, well. You've been very, very busy. So, I like to start off the show, Josephine, and give you a little platform. I got a whole bunch of questions here for you, but I like for the artists to kind of tell our listeners a little bit about you, because they want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from me so much. They hear from me all the time, but they want to hear a little bit about you. So let's start with, I do have a question. Darn, I said I wasn't going to do that. But listen, let's start with how you get here. You know what I mean? Were you one of those little child prodigies that when you started to crawl, you started singing, or tell us how you get here. You get music in the school, your parents in the biz, all that kind of good stuff.
Well, I don't know if I'd necessarily call myself a child prodigy, but my parents have definitely said that I've been singing for a very long time. Now, if I've been singing well for a long time, who knows? But for the last couple years, I kind of just started working on it a little bit more, recognizing that it was something I really enjoyed doing. And so I was, getting vocal coaches and talking with people in the industry. And a really awesome vocal coach of mine named Joseph Conti gave me the opportunity to make an album with him. And through the support of him, the musicians that he knew, my parents, and everyone around me, I was able to create my first album. And that kind of was the thing that started it all, because that experience really let me know that, oh, this is really what I want to do. It wasn't just something I liked doing. This is a genuine passion. So I'm very grateful for that opportunity, because it's kind of just continued on since then. I mean, with singles after that, more albums, meeting tons of new people, moving to LA. It's been a crazy journey, but it's been really fun.
Where are you from originally?
I grew up a good chunk in Portland. I was born in Washington and moved to Minnesota for a bit, but Portland's really where the music kind of started.
Okay. So when you found out that you wanted to do music, because it looked like you're doing so many other things. Not only are you an artist, but, you're a model.
Yeah.
So which one did you prefer the best, or was it any such thing?
It's hard to say. They're kind of all equal. I think I'll have a special spot for music always, because it was kind of the first thing. It was the start of everything. Music led to modeling, which also led to acting. So if I had to say which one I liked more, it probably would be music, but they're all pretty equal.
That really was a fair question, Josephine. I'm gonna fall on the nail for that one, because you're right in the sense that every actor I know, except for maybe very, very, very few, want to get in front of the camera. Such as what happened with me. You end up wanting to get in the camera, and vice versa. You know what I mean? And you never see a movie, film, TV, sitcom, commercial, or anything without some type of music in it nowadays.
Yep.
So that's definitely a natural synergy that's kind of hard to get away from, and then on top of that, if you're a beautiful lady such as yourself, then the modeling is just almost like a given. You know what I mean? They want you. Somebody wants you to advertise something. They clothes, their popcorn. They want you to advertise something for them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to get around that one, And, that being said, you had some great experiences. Attending the Grammy and being named to Vogue. So tell us a little bit about that before we get to your music.
Okay. That was a crazy experience. My manager, she's very well connected, and she knew some people that were able to get us into the Grammys, which was something that I never thought would happen this early. Because I had just moved to LA, and then a few months later it's like, oh, we're going to the Grammys, which was insane. That was a really, really fun experience. It was this mix of being unreal, but also what it was like. It felt right, mixed with what am I doing here?
Right. Like, I'm supposed to be here. This is where I'm supposed to be.
that was the biggest feeling, but there was still that small feeling of, wow, this is insane. This is something I've only ever seen on TV. But it was really cool being able to see just all the people, especially being able to see the behind the scenes. That I found was very interesting. Talked to some really nice people. Every single person I met was very kind. And it was just kind of an overall good night.
Right. I could imagine that's where everybody's, what am I trying to say? Everybody's creative and their aura is kind of like unchecked. It's just out there.
Yeah.
Because even a lot of the people that you met, you probably don't know all of everything that they do, and they know that since you were there, you had to be somebody. Either you're somebody or you know somebody that's somebody, but you're just not there because you didn't have no place else to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you're just not there because you're just going down the street and say, oh, let me just go in here. You had to be there for a reason.
Yeah.
You had to be there for a reason. So what about the best dress list? What was that about?
Oh, that was crazy. I never expected that. We worked with a really awesome team and worked together to just come up with an outfit that I really, really enjoyed and that was also comfortable. That was a big part. And so to find out that I was put on a best dress list afterwards was kind of insane because it was kind of like a little goal of mine, but it was never a serious goal necessarily. It was like, oh, it'd be cool to be on those lists, but, we'll see what happens. And so for it to actually happen was crazy. And so I'm so thankful for my team that really helped me out with my whole look that night.
Well, it's important that and great that you mentioned your team because, it's a lot of artists out here that's, trying to make it without a team, and they just really don't know how difficult, it is. It's a full-time job just being an artist.
Oh, for sure.
But then if you got to turn around and try to handle business, it's crazy. It gets overwhelming at some point. It's almost you splitting yourself a whole bunch of different ways, and at the end of the day, it does kind of take away from you being that great artist, because most great artists that I know, 98% of their time, either they're practicing or rehearsing.
Right. Yeah, and I definitely found that out because in the beginning, I kind of was trying to figure out a way to do as much as I could because I wanted to, I don't know, I guess I just wanted to be the one that could do it all, and then you find out rarely can you be the one that can do it all. It's so much better and so much nicer and relaxing to have good people around you who can support you and get things done more efficiently and more professionally than you could as well. So it betters your career in the long run anyway.
Oh, absolutely, because it just frees you up to be all that you can be. That's definitely a great thing. How important do you feel social networking is with establishing your career going forward? Because a lot of people, a lot of old school artists, they're not really computer literate, and they don't deal with a lot of social networking. And I know the way the record industry has changed, they focus a lot more on social networking, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, so on and so forth. So how important do you feel that is?
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of like an outlier as far as being an 18-year-old, and I don't really like social media. I don't dislike it, but it's never really been my thing. And so to me personally, I wish it wasn't as important, but it definitely is, because pretty much every person that I've met and advisors and people in the industry have stressed the importance that your social media presence is a big deal. And I know something that I do like about social media is the ability to connect with the people that like your music, because I feel like it was harder to connect with all those people before. But now, you know, you put out a post and you've got comments, you can respond to the comments and maybe make someone's day, or to respond to some direct messages. And that part I think is really, really cool, kind of bringing the community together. But as far as the business aspect of it goes, I don't really like it that much, but it's definitely a big part of it now.
Right. Well, I know a lot of major companies, they don't even have A&R department no more, so they really don't have actual physical bodies going all over places, you know, looking to discover somebody or seeing performing or playing somebody. Now they just go on the internet and let their fingers do the walking.
Yep. Yeah. It can definitely be a blessing and a curse.
Oh, no question. You know, the good part about it is, like you said, you could touch people that you normally wouldn't come in contact with. But the flip side of that is, if you're a great artist and you wasn't really social media motivated, and you didn't really have a good team, you know, it could be harmful, because I see a lot of great artists kind of fall through the crack only because they don't have a team in place. Yeah.
You also can get lost in the algorithm, which is really difficult because there's so many people out there that maybe don't have a huge following, but they're really, really good. But I don't think a lot of the bigger name companies or the people searching talent look at certain followers and below, which that's the part that I don't like as much, is that the numbers have such a significance.
Oh, I agree. Because if your numbers are impressive enough, then they want to see you, check you out here, and find out what you're really about. But then if your numbers aren't impressive, you know, like you said, they don't really look, and that's when a lot of great artists fall through the crack, or, you know, it takes them longer to get the attention that they need, especially nowadays, because it's becoming fewer and fewer places to actually perform until you get on a certain level.
Places ask for your social media every single time. Like, you go to a venue, they're like, well, how many followers do you have? How many people can you bring in? How many of this? It's all about numbers. Kind of insane.
Definitely, because they're trying to see if you're going to be able to fill some of those seats or not.
Yep. Yep.
And 9 times out of, when they ask you how much are your tickets, you know, they pretty much know, and then they'll ask you all those questions. How much are your tickets? You know, how much you spending on radio, and so on and so forth. And then they figure out how many seats they got, and then they pretty much know how much money you're going to make before you do.
Yep. It's crazy. It's definitely a numbers and a money game.
Yes. But then the great ones slide on through.
True.
Well, I was looking at your topic, inspiration from a current relationship. Is that the name of the project, or is that where your songs derive from?
It's kind of where my songs are deriving from at the moment.
Well, at least we know they're not blues.
True.
Because a lot of relationships that don't go the right way end up being, she took my dog.
Yeah, I've been lucky in the fact that my relationship's going pretty strong. It's been good.
Oh, that's definitely a fantastic thing. So your new album is called what?
The one that just released? It's a duology album, so it's 2 songs, Slow Down and Falling, which are also the title.
Well, we have actually those queued up, and we're going to let our listeners put their ear on that, and then we could talk about production and all that good stuff. And I actually know the production was great because I listened to them earlier. But Showdown is the new single, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, well, we're going to say the best for last. Not that any of them aren't great anyway, but since that's your new single, we're going to save that one to last because that's the one we want our listeners to remember since that's the one we're working with right now, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so how about number one featuring, what is it, Wavy Baby?
Oh yeah, with Kyrie and Wavy Baby.
Yeah. All right. Hey, everyone, you know the drill. Let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. This is Josephine Relli coming at you.
Steph got the waves. Yeah, what like that?
Hey yo, Nash, you go crazy.
No one makes me feel this way. No one gets me through the day. When you give yourself to me, there's no place I'd rather be with you. No down, drop top, feeling free now. And you know I made 100 off a freestyle. Got your bitch getting like a shit freak now. Can't call, can't answer, she don't read out. Can't recall, that's too much. I can't stress, it's a mess. I feel great, I feel blessed. And no yes and nothing. Feel great, I feel blessed. And no yes and nothing. Yeah. No one makes me feel this way. No one gets me through the day. When you give yourself to me, there's no place I'd rather be than with you.
Sunset on the car, sipping my ties. All you niggas want beef in the Five Guys. Said I could have put the cat, got 5 lives.
Oh my God, Carrie, stop.
No one make me feel this way good. I think we could have some girl.
No one makes me feel this way. No one gets me through the day. When you give yourself to me, there's no place I'd rather be than with. No one makes me feel this way. No one gets me through the day. When you give yourself to me, there's no place I'd rather be than with you.
No one make me feel this way good. I think we could have some good. I think we could have some fun, girl.
Yeah, we're back in the studio with Miss Josephine Relli. That's a nice song.
Thank you.
And how did you put that one together? Was that one of your creations? Were you sitting around just in a mood? Tell us about that one.
Well, that one came about because I was in the studio with Kyrie and Wavy Baby, and we were kind of messing around with different sounds, different beats, just kind of finding what felt right. And the chorus is what came up first, and then we kind of built everything around that. And it was really, really fun because we were able to kind of knock it out in only like maybe 2-3 sessions. But it was a really, really fun experience. It's just kind of a good, feel-good, fun song, and it was a really enjoyable time.
Yeah, you could always tell when it's magic, when stuff just come together like that effortlessly, and you don't really have to overthink it. It just kind of like flow.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was one of those kind of songs, great production. I'm spoiled, so I try not to really critique music, but just enjoy it. But it's almost like if you were a baker going to a baking show all the time. Sometimes you don't really want to do it because that's what you do,
Yeah.
So, as an artist, Josephine, would you what genre would you classify your music in, or would you?
I tend to say that I don't really have a genre, to be honest, just because I don't really keep my writing in one place. I let whatever I write and whatever comes to mind kind of just go wherever it wants to, which can result in kind of a mix of different genres and different sounds, different vibes. So a lot of the time I kind of just say whenever and whatever, or whatever whenever. Yeah.
Well, that's great on a lot of levels. The highest level is that you don't pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
That is so true, so true. So listen, which songs do you have? You have videos to all these songs?
I have a music video for the last one we just listened to.
Okay.
The other ones have little snippet videos, but not full music videos.
Let's see, what else do I want to know that I didn't ask you already? That's okay. Well, I won't ask no more questions. We'll play some more music. How's that?
All right.
Let's go with Falling. How's that?
Sounds good.
How did you put that one together? The same way, or was it something special? With
That one was a little bit different. That one I was sitting down and writing before going into the studio. I had an idea for that one before I went in.
Okay. I was just wondering if it was a special thing that occurred to.
A little bit. Yeah, it's kind of talking about.
I'm being nosy, Josephine. I'm being nosy. Come on now.
No worries. Yeah, that one talks about how I kind of ended up with the person that I'm currently with, and I kind of call it like a mixed love song because at the time I wasn't really actively searching for a relationship, and I didn't necessarily even want one. But then he showed up, and it kind of just ended up working out. And so it's kind of like my mixed feelings going into it, but how at the end I'm actually very grateful for it, and I'm glad it happened.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Homeboy lucked out. Well, everybody, you know the drill. You know, let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. This is Falling. This is Josephine Relli.
Now do you With your host, Lamont Patterson. I'm independent, but I'm in it. I'm feeling fine all the time. On my grind, I am indeed. Alicia Rain at the wave.
Yeah, we back with Josephine Relli. That was a great, fantastic song. I'm going to be nosy again. Does he know he was the inspiration for that song?
He does. Yeah.
I bet you every time he hear it, he just busts out in a big old smile.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all right. That's all right. So what's next for you, Josephine?
Well, it's a little hard to say just because of the way that everything's going with quarantine. I mean, we've got a lot of ideas, definitely more songs coming out. We're wanting to do more music videos. We've been wanting to do a lot more collaborations as well. I can't really say when because of I don't really know when, to be quite honest. But definitely.
I was going to ask you too. How is everything that's going on in the world? How is that affecting you musically?
Oh, it's definitely affecting things because it's just one of those things where you're not quite sure. Like, should I go in the studio? Should I not? Like, it doesn't feel quite right to do it yet. And so it's everything's been kind of a holding pattern because everyone's quarantining and kind of staying home. And so, we can do what we can online, but it's, can't really get together and have a whole production crew and film a video or get together and have a whole crew in the studio. So those types of things are on hold, but they're definitely coming.
It definitely feels safe because I was reading something from SAG the other day where, some productions are starting to try to open up slowly, but they want the actors to sign waivers.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's
wow.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is. It's like if you work and you get sick, that's your fault, not ours. That's real crazy.
Yeah, I just know that I don't want to do anything that's going to get somebody else sick. So.
Or yourself. Or yourself, because that's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, okay, I'd like to go back and film and work on another production, but is it the cost of your health? I mean, is it really worth it at the end of the day?
Probably not. I mean, if you're only gonna put it off for like maybe a year, maybe a little over a year, health is more important because then you're going to be here for years to come.
Exactly, and that's pretty much my thinking too, because all money's not good money. Yeah, it's great to go make a movie for somebody, and then I was trying to figure out the logistics because they were saying they're gonna have different zones for different actors, and I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm trying to figure out how you're gonna film anything and do social distancing and have a mask on at the same time, unless you're doing some type of horror movie. And that would be interesting.
Right.
So I just thought about that. Doing a sci-fi horror movie and everybody wear a different mask.
And everyone's 6 feet apart.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, how they would pull that off. But then, they'll probably end up doing a whole bunch of CGI stuff.
True.
They could take 5 people and make 5,000 real easy.
Yeah, definitely. And they've got the access to that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Hey, look, especially when you quarantining, too, all you can do is sit up in front of your computer and play with your toys, especially if that's what you do.
Yeah.
So, who are some of your artists that you listen to when you're not doing your thing?
I listen to a lot of artists. I really, really like the 50s and the 60s, and so I listen to a lot of Jackie Wilson and Ray Charles. And I guess for modern artists, I listen to a lot of Sam Smith. I really like her. What else? was quite a good amount. I think my heart truly lies, though, kind of in the 50s, though. Kind of the...
Good choice.
Yeah.
Good choice. And I can kind of tell with your vocal style, you're one of those artists that they can put on a milk crate and you could hold your own, versus some of these other artists that they're actually studio produced, if you understand the difference.
Mhm.
It's a great thing when you could just sing, and I guess in a studio you can punch in, punch out, you can cut, you can do this 1,000 different times, and once you sing it 1,000 different times, by the time you get to the stage, you should know it.
Right. Yeah. I definitely like the authentic sound. Kind of like things to be a little bit more stripped back and really let the true sound of things with vocals, and also I really, really love live instruments. I like shine through.
Oh, girl, yeah, your head is definitely in the right place. I could tell that, too. Because I see a lot of times, too, I really don't care for digital that much because that's not the era that I came from. I came from live instruments, too, and sometimes, when a song a track is digitally produced, it's almost like a hospital. It's just too clean, you know what I mean? It's just just too clean.
Mhm. And sometimes those little mistakes end up being the little nuances that make the song so much better.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. The live bass, or you could hear a guy's fingers running down the strings. Just different, just different stuff. That you could really feel in the song. It's just like I said, not too clean. It's too clean. I don't know. Digital sound. I like to hear the instruments when the whole track sounds fat. That was a term that we used to use too.
Yeah, I definitely like to use a mix of both. I know recently I've been kind of diving into the world of more electronically produced sounds and music. But for a long time, when I was doing music solely in Portland, pretty much everything was just live instruments. So I definitely want to blend the two together.
So if you had a choice in your performance, your stage thing, would you like doing track dates opposed to having a live band?
No, I'd do a band. There's something about it, having people with you. It's easier to get the energy.
Well, the fun part about it is you can tell them to break it down, to bring it up, or stop and talk and engage with the audience whenever you want. When you have live instruments,
a little bit different.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do that if you just perform into a track.
Yeah, definitely.
So, do you play yourself?
I dabble a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily say that I play any other instruments because I haven't sat down and really worked on them like I have with vocals, but I do dabble in kind of guitar and piano, a little bit of drums and bass, mainly for the sake of writing, though. If I can understand the instrument enough to figure out what the sound is that I want to go with my songs.
Oh, okay. Do you find, since you left Portland and came to L.A., do you feel like the music scene has been any different, or is it the same to you?
I think it's pretty different. Portland's music scene is a little bit smaller. It's a little bit more, just a smaller group. I feel like towards the closer I got to my moving date, the more that I was realizing that like I had played at pretty much all the places I could play at in Portland. I had met and talked to a lot of the more well-known people in Portland as well. So I feel like I kind of went through it all, and I was definitely needing more because there wasn't really much more to do. Not to say that the music scene here is not good. It's just definitely so much smaller compared to LA because there's so many people in LA and so many different sounds, and you can find your lane, or you can go down multiple lanes if you don't have a specific one, and it's just way more open. There's always something new around the corner, which is really enjoyable.
Yeah, it seemed like you'd been around the block there in Portland, so you know everybody that it is to know, and everybody know you. And that is a good thing because they kind of put together your core fan base. Because for them, you're a homegirl. You know what I mean? No matter how big you get in the world, to them, you know, you're still gonna be their homegirl because they knew you win.
Yeah, it gives me a place to always come back to if I want to chill.
Yeah, that's always a great thing and a good place to be. So everything, we didn't touch everything except about your interest in creating your own clothing line. Oh.
Yeah, I really like fashion. That's another, like, passion of mine. It's one of the things that kind of led me to want to model, is that I kind of like creating. When I create something, I like to create it in its entirety. So if I have a music video, I like to figure out what I'm wearing for it, and because I feel like everything can complement everything else. And so that's kind of one of the biggest things that led me to wanting to create that. But I also, personally, I am very, like, a huge fan of suits. I really, really like suits. But something that I've found is that it's, like, extremely hard to find good women's suits that aren't frilly or weirdly cut or not ridiculously expensive. And so I kind of wanted to create a line that would kind of give me the thing that I was missing, because I figured, all right, well, if I'm missing this and I'm kind of struggling to find this, there's got to be somebody out there who's thinking the same way. So I don't know when that'll be or when that'll get into creation, but hopefully soon.
I know Ellen DeGeneres always want new suits.
Yeah. Her suits are probably very expensive. Well fit, tailored.
Well, I'm sure, but then there's always room for you, that's for sure. And especially with what you're doing, because one door opens up another door. What did you do for Macy's?
Oh, I did a fashion event for them, a modeling fashion event. I think it was like a prom-based themed thing. It was pretty fun. A little bit more small, a little bit more local, but pretty enjoyable.
I bet you had some designs that look better than theirs, huh?
I definitely had some in mind when I was seeing some of them, for sure.
Are you wondering how did they get there?
A little.
Would you say a little? Okay, that's great. That's great. At least you're being modest. You just don't want to put them on blast. So talk to us. We down to, well, let me see, slow down now. Talk to us about that. How did that come about? What's it about? What was the inspiration? Yeah. Tell us about that one.
Well, Slow Down kind of had a similar inspiration to Falling, as far as it was an aspect of my current relationship that I was thinking about. But it was more so talking about kind of just slowing down and not letting a whirlwind of maybe other people's opinions or what's supposed to be, or just personal second guessing or thoughts that might be getting in the way, and to just slow down and to just keep communicating and just stick together like a team, so we can just kind of keep going and keep it very open and together.
Well, I think that's mighty fine inspiration, too, and words for everybody to hear. So that's what we're going to do. Everybody, you know the drill. Let the windows down, turn the air conditioner up, and put your ears on this. Miss Josephine Relli, and this is called Slow Down.
Okay, your girl Miss Dramaganza, check. Lip gloss, check. Mascara, check. I am Indie with the homie K Diddy, check. You listening to Blog Talk Radio, baby, and I love you for it. Mwah.
Yeah, we're back with Josephine Relli, and that was Slow Down. That boy better slow down. Do you do your own production, Josephine, or you got a production crew?
I have an engineer that I work with. His name's Hefe. Hefe mixed it, and he kind of works on production alongside me. So it's a mix of both.
I like the production, and the vocals is on point too.
Thank you.
Great mix.
Oh yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah, it was definitely a great mix. I like that feel as well. Good writing music. So, Josephine, you're quiet, but I want you to tell all our listeners where they can go get your stuff.
All right. Well, I am on iTunes, Spotify, pretty much everywhere you can stream music at Josephine Relli. Also on Instagram at Josephine Relli. And I have my website, which is josephinerelli.com, which has all of those links, videos, and more.
Josephine, did I ask you, were you appearing anywhere locally anytime soon?
You did not. And the answer to that would be no, not anytime super soon. At least nothing is scheduled for them at the moment. We're kind of seeing to see if there's anything open that we can do, but kind of a mixed bag.
Okay. I was just wondering if you're performing somewhere, so we can come out and support you, we can come out and see you.
Yeah, I wish I was. I wish I could tell you one, because I don't think a lot of places are open.
That's true. Some people contacted me the other day about doing a live stream thing through pay-per-view. I guess that's going to be the next thing for artists can be, doing that type thing, so they can still create some type of revenue. But it had some pretty big names that was involved in it, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe that's how things are going to be going for the next few days. But
yeah,
we'll see. Is there any artists out there that you would like to collab with?
Oh man, well, there's a lot that I can think of, but I know that I kind of just enjoy collaborations for collaboration's sake, because I feel like each person can bring something super unique to the table, and so I feel like a collaboration with anybody would be welcomed. But obviously I've got the people that I really look up to, like a collaboration with Sam Smith would be amazing, and that's something that I've always really wanted and dreamed for.
You have such great answers. I am so proud of you. Because I don't usually hear that. I've dealt with so many artists that had, producers that had them signed to a pretty much exclusive production deal, and I thought that was kind of whack because as an artist, you would want to work with as many different producers as possible because each producer bring out something different in you.
Definitely.
And as an artist, why wouldn't you want to be all that? You know what I mean?
Of course. If anything can help you grow and help you discover something new, and it's going to be a great experience, why would you limit it?
Yeah. And that's exactly what that does. It's like they get stuck with one production situation and refuse to work with anybody else, and before you know it, all your stuff starts sounding alike, and that's great if you're already selling millions and millions and millions of units, but if you're just coming up the ladder, that's not such a good thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
That is not such a good thing. But Josephine, we're down to the last few minutes. It always flies when you're having fun. But we definitely enjoyed you and enjoyed your music, and I want you to feel free to come back anytime. And anytime you got a show lined up, please, let us know.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
Oh man, it's been great. I always like talking to bright young stars that actually have talent. That always makes it fun, that actually have talent. Sound good. I mean, I'll probably get in trouble for saying that, but I mean, it's always a pleasure, to actually talk to somebody that have skills and know what they're doing, know where they are, and know where they want to go. And you're doing wonderful things. So I definitely want to thank you for taking time out and coming chatting with us and let us
of course.
hear your music. Definitely. All right. And we're going to pay attention and talk to you later. And we're going to continue to play your music from now on. And I want to tell our listeners, if you joined the show late, there's no reason that you can't hear from its entirety because it's available on all the platforms. And if you forget how to get us, ask your mama, to ask your daddy, to ask the man across the street to work at the gas station. And if he don't know, the guy at the grocery market may know. And then if you don't know that, then I don't know what to tell you. There's no reason that you cannot hear the show, and you won't be disappointed. How about that one? All right. We'll be back next week, the same time, 2 p.m. PST. And I'm going to play this. Everybody should be able to relate to this, and this is called Be Thankful.
Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, gangsta white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all. Brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. The white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, gangsta white wall, TV antennas in the back. You may not have a car